Welcome to our Nature and Cage Birds YouTube channel. In this article, we will introduce you to the goldfinch species living in various regions of Turkey and the world. Anatolian goldfinch cole, thorn, henna. It is a small, active and human-like species. It is easy to get used to the cage and get chicks. Mediterranean goldfinch Akhisar, Antalya, Izmir, Çukurova goldfinch. It is a species that grows in the coastal regions of the Mediterranean, adapts to the temperate climate, mates early and is the easiest to get a hybrid. Siberian goldfinch c.carduelis major, chasm goldfinch, gesem goldfinch. White-throat goldfinch. It is the largest and most beautiful looking of the species. As its name suggests, it breeds and multiplies in the Russian steppes in the summers, migrates to North Africa to overcome the harsh climate conditions. This migration coincides with the months of November and December and can be caught on the migration routes. It is the most difficult to get used to the cage, the most wild species, and it is also difficult to get a hybrid. The white-throat goldfinch has a white stripe from the bottom of the beak to the bottom of the neck, cutting off the black shawl in this area. It is also a migratory goldfinch and is especially caught in large numbers in the Marmara region. Himalayan goldfinch. It differs in color and song. As its name suggests, it is a breed that has differentiated in the Himalayan mountains. Although its body lines are the same, the black scarf on the head is either faint or absent. Legendary white goldfinch. This goldfinch, which is often mentioned and said to be dyed or whitened with food, is actually the result of albinism, which can be found genetically in every living creature. If you pay attention, its eye color is red, just like the red-eyed white budgies in bird shops. Angelo Fumagalli, who currently produces this color in Italy, is the name. Gender discrimination. Males are large, brightly feathered, have longer beaks, their henna-colored mask extends to the back of the vertical line of the eye. The whisker-like feathers in the section where the beak meets the head are black. In addition, the upper surface feathers in the section where the wings meet the body are dark in males and brown in females. Living places: Europe, Western Asia and North Africa, scrublands, maquis, Siberian steppes, thorny open areas and stream heads. There are also those that adapt to city life. Feeding style: seeds of annual plant species, various fruits, small insect larvae, rare, especially oily and high-protein seeds of thorny plants, basically has a granular beak structure. Lifespan: 6 to 8 years in its natural habitat, some live up to 14 years in cage conditions. Reproduction and reproduction: late spring, April-May months, they can give birth to 4 babies per year. They lay 4 to 6 eggs in a cup-sized nest and usually fill them all. The babies hatch on the 14th day. The babies fly out of the nest 15 days after hatching. At first, the face, forehead and nape feathers are gray in color, and they turn their normal color in the first feather. Catching: it is usually caught by placing a saka called patarulik calling in nets called 4, 6, 8 stakes, and it is also caught with the help of a calling bird placed in special cages with traps placed on them. There are also regional personal catching methods. Taming: the captured goldfinches should first be kept in large cages with old goldfinches or canaries for about a week. The reason for this process is to get the bird used to food. The water in the cage should be in a large container and fresh. Then, they should be placed in one of the double cages with old birds. They are released together. A large water bowl should not be forgotten next to the normal waterer. The purpose of this is to get the birds used to the waterer. Another issue to be considered is the stress factor in the wild bird put in the cage. For this, a preparation containing oxytetracycline and vitamins should be added to its water. Remember that stress kills the goldfinch. Later, the goldfinch put in a single cage is now used to food and water. Unfortunately, half of the birds die in the meantime. The cage should be hung 30 centimeters above the human head level. It should be ensured that it sleeps and wakes up with natural daylight. The bird released into the cage should not be touched by hand, and sudden movements that will disturb the bird should not be made. The goldfinch cage has 2 places, one outside and one inside. Where it is hung outside should definitely not be exposed to wind. When moving the goldfinch cage, it is useful to carry it above the head again. After a certain period of time, it starts to sing slowly. The goldfinch, believing that it will not be harmed by humans, has now become a cage bird. Do not forget to put sand under your bird's cage or feeder. Do not put newspaper under it, it may eat it and get sick. Do not forget to give it green. I prefer mint. Fresh fruits, especially figs, are a type of food it loves very much. Beak stones should be given, and an antibiotic such as tetracycline should be added to its water no more than once a week. Production in cage conditions is difficult. European producers, e.g. Angelo fumagalli generally produce in 2*2*1.1 meter trusses. Place stunted trees in these trusses and put the male and female goldfinches to be paired in these trusses in November and ensure that they spend the winter together. The pairs suitable for production in cages are again the female and male that have been hatched in cages. I had talked to a Greek producer. He stated that he brought these birds from Italy and had a few chicks in the second season, although it was difficult. He tried to make the environment natural by putting some artificial branches like plastic pine inside the cage. I mated the females I bought from goldfinch enthusiasts who collected eggs and hatched them under canary and hybrids with the males caught in the wild and got chicks, but I could not have them take care of the eggs. I tried to bring a pair from Italy, but the Italian customs did not allow it because they were wild animals. Maybe it would be easier if we entered the EU hybridization. The biggest concern of goldfinch enthusiasts is this. The reason for this is the biological beauty known as hybrid virility. Hybrids both sing better and are more durable. In order to obtain a hybrid bird, male goldfinch x female canary, male canary x female goldfinch are matched. Breeders generally use the first method, but the offspring from the second type of pairing are more beautiful. I will especially focus on male goldfinch and canary hybrids. Your goldfinch should have spent at least the winter in a cage and adapted to cage life. In our regions outside the Mediterranean and Marmara coastline, goldfinches in nature mate and lay eggs regionally in about a week at the end of March and in the middle of April. As you will know, canaries in these regions come to mate at the end of January and in the middle of March. In other words, the natural estrus and synchrony times of goldfinches and canaries are different. In order to overcome this problem, I recommend that you stay in the coastal regions of the Mediterranean. Mersin. I use goldfinches that I brought from Antalya, Izmir, Manisa. Before the goldfinch is mated, it should be in heat. It should challenge the surroundings with a classic spring movement on the perch. Its feet and beak should be white, it should have straightened its feathers and it should be more or less used to humans. If you pay attention, the feet and beaks of natural goldfinches caught in March and April are white. The female canary should not have been mated before. It should be suitable for the color of the goldfinch: green, ember, milky ember, mosaic, copper. You can use the females that have taken a mouthful of chicks from the male canaries that season, so that your goldfinch will have time to get a little more estrus. When you believe that your goldfinch and canary are ready, and if it is April, you can put the female in the goldfinch's cage. If the female is already in heat, she will start to weave the nest immediately and will want to mate every time she gets up from the nest. Some hybridists keep a singing male canary in the environment to help this. The first eggs are usually empty. Wait patiently for the second eggs. Do not separate the mates. Use simple single-eyed wired mating cages for the mates. It should be in a secluded place. Sometimes the goldfinch can damage the eggs or feed the young. Observe this and remove the goldfinch from the cage if necessary. I usually move the female goldfinch to other females after she lays her eggs, so there is a chance to have more young in the same season. Remember, hybridization is as much a matter of luck and patience as experience. The care of the hatched young is carried out in the same procedure as canary young. Gender distinction in hybrids. Basically similar to goldfinch, males are more showy and their masks extend to the back of the eye. Their colors are brighter and they fluff up their head feathers when they are nervous in the cage. Most importantly, they sing and at least do their lessons. Even when colored food is given, males are more beautifully colored. According to my observations, more males come out of the young. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel, open notifications, like and share our videos.